Go and get our Umrah done right now so that we know exactly where you are. And just keep in mind, it is our responsibility to know where you are at all times, especially when we're moving as a group. When we're not moving as a group, that's fine. You're free to kind of do whatever you need to do. But when we're moving as a group, we need to be informed exactly where you are. So those of you who wish to go, you can go. So just keep that in mind. We will update you inshallah once we land of exactly, okay, let's go for Umrah now, or we'll delay it later on in the evening. If we delay it, keep in mind, you're still in the state of ihram throughout that whole period. So you can't change, go up in the hotel and change and then go take a nap. You got to keep those two garments on the whole time. You're still in that state of ihram. Remember, here's one thing I forgot to mention, so let me mention this right now. Unless it's coming up later on. The shaving of the head or the trimming of the hair. So brothers, I would encourage you to shave your head. If you don't want to for whatever reason, that's fine. But the Prophet ﷺ said that the one who trims their hair after they've performed their umrah, Allah will forgive them once and have mercy upon them once. In other words, the Prophet ﷺ would pray, "Oh Allah, forgive this person," and He will do that once. But the person who shaves their head, the Prophet ﷺ will make the same dua for that individual 3 times more. So there's extra virtue and extra blessing and extra dua for going all the way. As for the sisters, don't shave your heads. Okay? What you can do, get back to your hotel, and then you can simply trim your hair. Now what do? You grab as much of your hair as possible. If you can, depending on how your hair is, if you can grab all of it, and all you need to do is at the bottom, the very tip end of your hair, you need to trim minimum the amount of just your pinky finger, like the top portion of your pinky finger. That's it. You can trim more if you want. So you're talking about just like an inch, just a little bit more than an inch of your hair at the very end, and you're good to go. You're done, you're out of the state of ihram. You can go do whatever you need to do after that, okay? For us brothers, what we'll do is those of you who come and perform Umrah with me, what we'll do is that when we're done, I will take all the brothers and we will go to the salon. You know, and so we'll have those guys come and they will take care of us beautifully. These guys, they shave heads like how some of us would like peel carrots. Like they just, in a few minutes, you were done, man, and you look like a brand new baby. So that's why I haven't cut my hair. My hair is really annoying right now, but I'm saving it for that moment. So, and then that's it. And once we're done, it's time to relax. After all of that is done, it's time to relax. But let's finish up this Tawaf section. Okay. Tawaf must be 7 rounds around the Kaaba. So, we start off, this is what's going to happen. This pole is the black stone. This first pole right here. We all come as a group. And if we, I won't even say if. As a group, we're not going to go to the black stone and try to touch it or kiss it. As a group. You can do that individually. Why? It's chaos there. I can't afford to lose any of you or have any of you hurt. If you do that outside of the Umrah, that's fine, it's your thing. So as a group, we will line ourselves up towards the black stone. For a split second, we will turn, point towards the black stone, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, and we start. Then we start circulating the Kaaba. We start going around. This is your time for dua. This is what you came for. This is your time to pour your heart out to Allah. Those of you who have dua books, put it away. This is your dua book here. No one knows your mistakes more than you. No dua book is going to pull that out for you. Your heart is your dua book. Start talking to Allah in any language you want and tell Him and confess to Him everything you've done. and ask and beg for forgiveness. So this is what we're doing. Before we reach to the black stone for this, after finishing the first round, this is the only time we will make a dua together, which is what? رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. What I will do is I will cue you. So we'll be together, and as we get to the point where we say that dua, I will cue you. I will say, now, رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيا, and that's it. And I will leave it to you. And we will say it. We won't say it and shout it out as a group. Unfortunately, you're going to see a lot of people doing that. As a matter of fact, you might even see people stopping in front of the black stone and start praying 2 rak'ats. None of this is a practice from the Prophet ﷺ. You are going to the center of the Muslim world. So you're going to see all the mumbo jumbo that Muslims do around the world all in one place. Don't allow that to get into your head or allow you to get carried away with it. You're with me. Okay? You're with me. So I'm going to walk you through to the best of my knowledge what I know is authentic from the Prophet ﷺ. Okay. So, that's how we start off. So we do that 7 times in the state of wudu. If for whatever reason you break your wudu during Tawaf, then we're going to have to pause. If we want to stick as a group, we're going to have to pause. You're going to have to go and perform wudu. And then come back into the haram. And rejoin. So it definitely puts a huge amount of delay on us if that's happened. So again, the whole idea of before we leave that hotel is for everybody to use the washroom, freshen up, and get yourself prepared, inshallah. 2 rak'ats behind Maqam Ibrahim anywhere in the haram. So, this podium is Maqam Ibrahim. What's Maqam Ibrahim? The Maqam Ibrahim is the station in which inside of it is a stone or a massive piece of block that has the footprints of Ibrahim engraved into it. This is when him and his son Ismail, they built the Kaaba together. The son brought him this piece of stone and his dad stood on it, and eventually his feet got engraved into that stone. So this area, this is the maqam, the standing point of Ibrahim. Behind it, where I'm standing, this is all his maqam. This is his standing area. The actual maqam Ibrahim is not this podium. It's everything behind it. So what we're going to do is that when we finish 7 rounds around the Kaaba, we will try to come behind this area, but it's very busy. Okay? It's very busy because why? Thousands are trying to pray there as well. So we'll try to see if we can get a spot as a group so that we can all do our 2 rak'ats. If we cannot, there's no spot available, we will go anywhere in the haram that we can find so that we can stick together, and anywhere in the haram is also acceptable as well. We're praying 2 rak'ats. These 2 rak'ats are individual, we don't pray together as a jama'ah. In the first rak'ah, what surah do you recite? Surah Al-Kafirun. Second rak'ah, Surah Al-Ikhlas. You're done. This is not the time for Alif Lam Mim Dhalikal Kitabu. No. Short, quick. This is not a time for you to make long sujuds. No. None of that. It's just 2 rak'ats. You're done. When we're done our 2 rak'ats now, so let's move on. Some important points. If you lose wudu during tawaf, we've talked about. If salah starts during tawaf, we simply stop where we are and we pray. And we pick up where we left off after salah. That's it. It's as simple as that. We don't have to start all over again, okay? Certainly is not affected by doubt. So, if we're confused, what round is this? Is it number 6 or 7, or did we do an extra one? Certainty cancels out doubt in tawaf. In other words, if we're more certain that we've done 5, but we're doubtful it could have been 4, what number do we continue with? 5. This is Allah's mercy. You continue with the 5th one. Even though you're just like, oh, it could be 4. No, the majority of us will be like, how much do we think we've done? This is probably the 5th one. Go for it. What some people like to have is they have these counters with them. Some people like to keep track on their cell phone. That's fine. Alhamdulillah, in all the umrahs I've ever done in my life, I've never lost track of how many tawafs I've done. But with all of our brains together, I don't think that should be a problem, inshallah. Only one sunnah dua is recorded, but make a lot of dua, which we've talked about. Don't talk unless necessary. Really important. It's not a time for joking. It's not a time for getting on your cell phone. It's not a time for Facebooking or Instagramming anyone. It's a time for you and Allah. It's okay if you want to take a couple pictures. That's fine. Just don't make it every round or make it a habit all the time. Because I know the excitement is there. And I don't want you to lose that excitement. I want you to be happy when you're doing this tawaf as well. So you'll see every person, they're going to be putting their phone out. So if you want to take a quick picture of yourself but keep moving with us, absolutely. But make that very quick and focus as you continue. Don't push or shove, be nice, which we've talked about. People are going to push you. When I say push you, they're not going to come and just be like, get out of my way. There's just going to be a lot of this. You're just going to be shoved around. The only thing that I'm worried about, or I shouldn't even say worried about, the only thing I'll be thinking about is I don't want to lose anybody. I'm not worried about anybody getting hurt, because it doesn't get to that point. It's just a little bit of discomfort because it gets crowded just at certain stages of the tawaf. Not the entire tawaf is like that, just certain points of it. I just want and be concerned that we all stick together. So what may happen is, Brother Umar, we probably will split. One of us will be in the front, one of us will be in the back, so that we're always together with each other, okay? So don't worry, we got you covered, inshallah. Sa'i. Here's the last part of Umrah. The Sa'i is, again, 7 rounds. Starts off with the mountain of As-Safa. Now, how does the mountain of Safa look like? This is what it looks like. It's probably dull for a lot of you at the back there. It's all fenced off. You know, there's no mountain you can go to and touch. It used to be like that years ago, not anymore. What you will see, though, is that on the ground, they've molded portions of the mountain there. So you'll see that on the ground as we're walking and climbing this area where the Safa mountain is preserved. It's all tiled beautifully. There's AC and everything. So here, to begin, what we will do is that we will climb up to the Safa mountain area, and that's when we officially begin Sa'i. How do we begin Sa'i? Simply by Bismillah, and we continue to walk. What we'll do is we will walk, we will take our time. Now everybody knows the story behind this, of Hajar leaving her son and so on. What she did is that there was a portion in this path where she ran. Now only the men do this. The women, what you do is you kind of speed walk. Don't run. Because not only is that disliked for you to do that, but they do have religious guys around monitoring. So if they see you running, they'll tell you, no, slow down, don't do that. So what you'll do is you'll kind of just speed walk. Now brothers, for us, this is not our time to see who is an Olympic sprinter and who isn't. This is a light jog. You're just kind of going like this. Believe me, if somebody's still walking beside you and you're jogging, like it's that slow, you're just picking up the pace. And that will happen between 2 markers that are done in green. You know the color of those markers? You see that green light behind you there? Look against the wall. See the green light? It's exactly that color. You'll see it above. So you'll see a starting point of green. You'll see an ending point of green. Between both of those, that's where we're running. Okay, very, very short period. So we're going to do that light jog. When we get to the second marker, we slow down and we stop. We continue walking. Then we walk all the way to the mountain of Marwa. Once we climb up that area, we'll pause. We face towards the Qibla, and everybody here is welcome to make a short dua, a personal dua. It's literally about 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Then that's it. This counts as one distance. Number 2 is we make our way back to Safa. We repeat the same procedure over. We climb up to the Safa area, 10, 15 seconds. We have face towards the Kaaba, we make a short personal dua. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where do we end? The mountain of Marwa. Now once we get to the last one, we make a short dua and we're done. Umrah is finished. Well, not officially, but at least the rituals are done. As a group, we'll start making our way outside the haram. We gotta exit now. Again, it gets a bit tricky because it might be crowded. So we just gotta stick together. We start making our way out. Once we've done that, we'll go to the salon, and then for the brothers especially, we'll go get our hair trimmed. The sisters, you're welcome to come with us, especially when you have your husbands and so on, or your children. You come with us, and you'll just wait until they have their haircuts, and then we all head back towards the hotel. So everybody understands how the cutting should be done? Sisters, you're okay with how the cutting should be done? Okay. So what do we do after the Umrah? So let me just make sure. Is there any questions so far?
No,
Yes.
The running that you said, 2 green. What distance is it? Like for the men to be running, jogging?
There is a
What
lot
distance
of
is that, man? I would
Just
say
roughly,
probably...
Like, is it from here to here, or is it more?
No, I would probably say the length of the prayer hall. So from this wall, just to the other end, that's about it. Maybe even less than that. Okay? Very, it's quite relaxing. And especially if you're out of shape, it's going to remind you how out of shape you really are. Okay? Any other questions? No. We don't shave our beards. For the sa'i, for the shaving or the trimming, we don't cut your beards. It's just the hair on your head. Now, again, if there's anybody who's like naturally bald, you still got to go through the ritual. Okay? You just do it as a ritual and that's it. Yeah, just don't cut your skin. Don't do anything crazy, huh? One thing I forgot to mention is about the Tawaf. The first 3 rounds, brothers, will look like this. So we have this, the first 3 rounds, expose the right shoulder. That's it. And you just go. 3 rounds, we do it like this. And the 3 rounds, we try to do it a bit quicker than the last 4 rounds. But again, it all depends on the crowd. Okay, we're going to move with the crowd. Okay? And that's it. And the wisdom behind that is, there were the enemies, the mushrikun of Islam, watching the Prophet ﷺ and his companions doing tawaf. This was their way of at least presenting some intimidation to the mushrikun. Check out our arms. Don't think that we're just a bunch of weaklings here. We're tough. We can handle ourselves.
We can get tired.
Yeah. So we're not as lazy as you think we are. Okay, any other questions before we finish up? Yeah, go ahead. So the question here is like, and I'll do it for everyone. You know, some of the men and women, you might be uncomfortable walking on marble for so long. You know, because all of this that you see here will take us, what, about 2 hours maybe? About 2 hours or even less. 2 hours walking barefoot on tiles is difficult for some. So if you want to have like slippers, I don't know about the shoes. You can try, but just don't be surprised that there might be some people having an issue with that. But what you do is you stick with me. So if you want to have like separate slippers that you don't use outside of the haram with you, that you just use within the umrah, that's fine. You can do that. So try to get something comfortable if you're going to have problems doing that on the floor. Those of you who might need wheelchairs or anything like that, all those facilities are available there as well. Okay, so you wouldn't have to worry if you simply can't do all of the walking. It's fine. They have accommodations for that as well, inshallah. Any other questions? Okay, let's move on and finish this up. What do we do after Umrah? This is what I want to make point about. I know that the dua section, you're good. This is a journey of dua, so I don't have to talk to you about making dua. Here's what you should think about doing. Lots and lots of tawaf. Enjoy tawaf when you're there. So after you've rested, so when we finish shaving our heads and so on, we'll go back to the hotel and take a rest. Don't overexert yourself. Because when you do that, your salah starts feeling like this. The shortest surah in the Quran starts feeling like the longest surah of the Quran. So you just don't do that. Your body has a right over you. Give it its right. Rest. Even if it's like 10 hours, 8 hours, go to sleep. Okay? Go to sleep in your hotel. Remember, you are musafir, you're traveler, so you're always allowed to shorten and join prayers. So if you can't make it into the haram, you can simply join your prayers and pray in your room and rest. Once you're fully rested, here's how you should spend most of your time. Keep going in the haram and just do lots of tawaf. When I say lots of tawaf, 7 rounds, 2 rak'ats behind Makkah Ibrahim, that's 1 tawaf done. The special thing about tawaf is you can also make tawaf for other people. You have loved ones and you have people who have passed away, you want to make a special dua or tawaf on their behalf, you're permitted to do so as well. So when I go there, I love doing the tawaf. And sometimes I do like 10 and 15 in the 3-4 days that I'm in Mecca for different people. Okay, so you're welcome to do that. Whenever I mention that, a lot of people ask me, well, what if I want to do extra umrahs? I'll tell you something. The Prophet ﷺ, how many umrahs did he do in his lifetime? 4. Every one of his umrahs was done when he was outside of Mecca, coming back in. It was never done whilst he was in Mecca. Do you see the difference? Because we are outsiders coming into Mecca. Once we finish performing our umrah, the sunnah, the prophetic way, is that there is no extra umrahs after that. And then you run into another problem. So that's the one thing. If you want to do the thing that the Prophet ﷺ loved the most, it's just 1 umrah. But then the second thing is, if you still insist that you want to do another umrah and you want to go to Masjid Aisha, for those of you who are familiar with this, there is a huge dispute among scholars whether Masjid Aisha is an actual miqat or not. So you put yourself into doubt now whether you're doing the 2nd or 3rd umrah properly or not. So my advice to all of us is 1 umrah, and if you have loved ones you want to pray for and do things for them, do tawaf for them. That's the most authentic thing to do. And secondly, it's easier. Third, you don't have to go into ihram again. So you simply just get out of your hotel room anytime during the day and you go and you perform tawaf for your loved ones. You will enjoy that much more. So I'm highly discouraging anybody from thinking about a 2nd and 3rd umrah. We're going for this 1 umrah for ourselves, inshallah. Then you have the option of tawaf and tawaf and tawaf. Okay? So, having said that, this is what's the priority, and then don't miss a prayer in the haram. Try your best to get for all the salawat. How much is the reward for 1 prayer in the haram? How many rewards do we get? 100,000 rewards for 1 prayer. That's 500,000 thawab rewards of 1 day of praying in the Masjid al-Haram. That's in
1 rak'ah or 1 prayer?
No, 1 salah. Salat al-Fajr, 100,000. Salat al-Dhuhr, another 100 grand. Asr, Maghrib, Isha, all 100 grand each. When you're done for the day, just your fard prayers alone are equal to at least 500,000 rewards. That's not including the extra tawaf that you're doing. Scholars differ. Some ulama hold the opinion that everything you do good in Mecca is equivalent to 100,000. So when you're spending time with family walking in the mall, but it's still within the Mecca, the Haram area, you're getting reward of spending time with each other multiplied 100,000 times more. It's such a blessed place we're going. It's unbelievable. The biggest tragedy is if you make it a habit that you're just not taking salah seriously there. That's the biggest tragedy. You maybe miss a salah here and there, okay, fine. We're humans, right? But don't make that a habit that you consistently do that each and every time, because the days that we're going to have in Mecca are very short. Okay, so take advantage of that. And of course, as we all know, what is the reward, by the way, of Umrah? Does anybody know? The reward of actually performing Umrah, according to the majority, is all of the minor sins are forgiven. The major sins, scholars differ. But the point is that it's an opportunity for you to start fresh, start brand new. And it's a special place and a special journey, so more and more thawab and forgiveness and mercy is extended to the one who does that. So attending a lecture, so you'll see that there's one of two things. We will have a Jum'ah in Mecca as well, so we'll all attend that. But within the Haram as well, you'll see there's lots of classes and lots of shuyukh all over the place, doing this in different languages. So you might find a language you're comfortable with there. If you have the time, by all means, benefit from them. When I go there, what I love to do is they have stations for Q&A. So I go into those stations, and whatever questions I have on my mind, I'm at the place where I'm going to get the most authentic answers. And that's what I do. Drink lots of Zamzam. If you can, don't drink any bottled water, man. Just chug down Zamzam the whole time you're there. You know, go to and get, fill up some of your containers. You can't do that in the Haram, but you can do it outside on the platform of the Haram on the outside. You'll see there's hundreds of different fountains all over the place. And keep Zamzam in your hotel room and just live off of this for the time that we're there. The Prophet ﷺ, listen to this. A companion came to him and said, Ya Rasulullah, I haven't eaten anything for 1 month. All I did is I drank Zamzam water and I see my stomach getting fat. He was gaining weight just from Zamzam water. It has everything that you can imagine. From that narration, this is scholars concluded that one could potentially live off of Zamzam water for at least a short period, a month or a little bit more. Just live off of this water. This water also has healing properties to it. So one of the things you can do is that if you have a cup of Zamzam water, you can make dua over the water, you can recite some Quran over the water and drink it. Wipe it on your face. You got kids, throw it on their head, wipe their bodies and their skin. This is the most blessed liquid on earth. No one knows where it's coming from. It's just coming from the ground and no one can find where. Allah is giving us water directly from Him. So I'm taking my wife and my 2 babies, so you better believe me, I'm going to just take full advantage of this, and so should you. Allahumma al-bayk. Al-bayk, Allahumma al-bayk, huh? So look, there's a fantastic chicken. Have you guys heard about Al-Bayk? You haven't? Allah. We should plan a tour just for that spot alone, huh? It's the most famous restaurant in the Middle East, fast food restaurant in the Middle East. And it is as good as people describe it to you. It is just a whole different world. Maybe one day, those of you who want to, we can probably plan like a little trip one evening and go there. Okay. Praying on the plane. The good thing about Saudi Airlines is they have an actual prayer hall at the back of the plane. It's amazing. So you have no problem with that. Multiple umrahs we've already talked about. Boarded flight without ihram. So we talked about this. Brothers, what's the one thing you're going to make sure you have in your handpiece? You're going to make sure you have your ihram with you. Please, please don't forget. The ihram for the menstruating women. So what happens if this happens to you as we're going there, or in the state of ihram, the woman gets this? So what happens to them? One of 2 things can happen here. So when you get to Mecca, inshallah, there's a good chance that there won't be enough time for that period to end. Right? It's between 5 and 7 days, right? So you won't have enough time. We're there for less than that. So you have one of 2 things to do. You can make the intention that this umrah, you will come back and repeat it if you can. That's a far-fetched option, but it's an option. Secondly, you do nothing because your umrah will be accepted from you anyway, and this is the opinion that I strongly, strongly hold, and the majority hold as well. Allah doesn't punish you for things that isn't your fault. You understand? So don't be sad or upset. Insha'Allah ta'ala, you will get the reward of your umrah. 1/3 option is to do a sacrifice. Logistically, that might be next to impossible to prepare and to do, because the farmhouses in Mecca are quite a distance away from the Haram. I don't even know where they are. So we don't want to even look at that option. So at least in your heart, understand that Allah isn't punishing you anyway. And remember Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, this happened to her.